Skin is the largest organ in our body, and taking care of our skin in all kinds of climates, season is very important. Today we have Dr. Leroy Rebello speaking on great details about skin care and how to take care of our skin in general on daily basis. So thank you, Dr. Leroy, for joining us to explain about skincare.
Thank you, Dr. Rachel, for having me here.
So first question, doctor, everybody is so stressed about having their skin being healthy and glowing and fresh all the time. So how would you address them in terms of various categories? So firstly, we are living in an environment where there's so much of pollution and we're always, our skin is always in a stressed environment. So how do we cleanse our skin or how do we clean our skin?
Very good question. A skin is what keeps the inside of our body inside and the environment outside of our body. It's a barrier. It's the biggest barrier we have. It's the biggest immune system we have in our body. It's the largest organ in our bodies by surface area. It is a part of our body that tells us a lot about what is going on inside our body. Now, the best way to keep our skin clean is to have a shower in the morning.
Absolutely.
Because you sweat when you're in bed at night. And a morning shower is one of the best routines to have a good glowing skin. Having a good diet and exercise is very important. You spoke about pollution. When you go out, a lot of soot or pollution settles. What is pollution? Microcarbon particles. They settle on your skin and they block your pores. And that's why people get, all these small pimples and boils and all these things. The best thing is to do when you go home, wash it. Wash it off with a face wash or with a mild soap. That would take you a long way in skincare. You don't have to spend, I know young girls and boys who spend half their salary or even more than half their salary on skincare products. I feel very sad for that. You don't need to spend all that money on skincare products. You just need a few tips like having a healthy diet. The skin is a reflection of the internal body. What goes on inside reflects on our skin. So having a right diet definitely helps us to have a glowing skin. Taking care of our skin is very important. Okay? So it's important that you eat fresh fruits and vegetables because they contain high amount of antioxidants. And that helps your skin glow. Hydrating your skin often, that's washing it well, is important. Using some oils on your skin. You don't have to go to the store and buy an oil or a skin oil worth a few $1,000s. You can have normal coconut oil. After bath, you rub it on your skin. It works wonders.
Even on your face?
Absolutely. Just a little bit. Because what is fat? What is soap? What is the definition of soap? Soap is defined as calcium or sodium salt of higher fatty acid. And soap takes away all the oils from your skin. So you need to rehydrate them. Just use a little bit all over your body and your skin will be glowing good. Another important tip, as I say, of the skin is after you exercise, go for a shower. So all the sweat and usually people exercise in gyms or in closed spaces, but it's always full with a lot of bacteria and to be washed away. Then have a nice good skin regime. You can add aloe vera. You can add lemon peel. Now lemon peel contains something called hesperidine, or dried orange peel also contains something called hesperidine. And this is a very good bioflavonoid for your skin. So when you eat an orange, you don't need to throw the peel away. You can dry this peel, powder it, and make it a small kind of a face pack and apply it. And that will help you, the texture of your skin. It will help the tone of your skin. So you don't have to Photoshop every photo.
Absolutely. So cleaning, hydrating, and also applying a little bit of oil will definitely help your skin to be healthy.
Yes.
So doctor, what about the acne prone skin?
Yes. Now when you talk about acne prone skin, usually it is, I see different kinds of people, different kinds of people come with acne prone skin. Some of them are teenagers. That's because of the hormonal change happening in them. Sometimes women come during the cycle, various parts of their cycle they are prone to acne. Again, that's because of hormones. Sometimes it's the pores that get blocked because of pollution. They're just not washing it properly. So I would tell them, wash it with, if you have an acne prone skin, you need to take care of it in a different way. So there is some skins with acne prone have a T-zone,
Yeah, the T-zone.
Yeah. So you need to apply salicylic acid types of face washes. Now what if you don't have salicylic acid? It's fine. That's what I say. To be healthy is free. To be sick is expensive. Take aloe vera. Aloe vera contains salicylic acid. Create a face wash of it. You can cut the leaf, take off the gel, mix it with any kind of soap and apply it. It's a very good anti-inflammatory. It helps you.
So talking about aloe vera, there are different species of aloe vera, but there are only certain species that are good for our skin. Is that so, doctor?
The Indian aloe vera is good for your skin. Fortunately, we are in a country that has a very rich history and a very rich tradition of using plants in medicine. There are so many other plants that you can make at home. You can make your face packs at home. As I say, you take aloe vera gel. You take the powdered lemon peel which you're going to throw out, make it a gel, apply it. It will definitely cure a lot of acne conditions. And of course, if they are not getting better, then you need to see a dermatologist or you need to see a functional medicine doctor that would help you holistically, or a functional medicine specialist. Taking too much of chemicals will harm you in the long way. Taking too much of antibiotics will harm you in the wrong way. Having a healthy gut is important. So you have good amount of probiotics when you have acne prone skin. So your gut will be cleansed, because there is something called the gut skin connection. How you have the gut brain connection, you also have a gut skin connection. So there's something called skin probiotics. Our skin is not sterile. It is colonized by billions and billions of bacteria, billions of fungicides, billions of fungi, billions of viruses. That's the skin microbiome or the surface microbiome on the body. That microbiome prevents other bacteria, prevents pathogenic organisms from infecting us and getting, all these skin conditions like that. So having a good skin regime, washing ourselves properly, using the right oils, taking care of your skin is very important. And skin reflects your internal health.
Exactly.
If you have a good skin, you are healthy.
Yeah.
People come to, when you go to a hospital and you go to a ward, you look at the people. Even the most beautiful person like Miss India or Mr. India or Mr. Universe or Mr. Universe or Miss Universe would be sitting over there. They wouldn't look beautiful because they are sick inside, because the glow on the face is lost. A healthy person will always have a healthy skin. So it's very important that beauty is not skin deep. They have a saying, right? Beauty is not skin deep. It is a literal saying. You have to go right. So you have to have a clean mind, you have to have a clean body, a clean diet, a clean gut. Only then you'll have a clean skin and a good skin, a skin that glows.
So if you have an uneven skin or if it's acne prone, we should just not go skin deep and treat the peripheral or the superficial, but we should understand what is happening inside from as you said, the gut. So consulting a doctor who can see you holistically is important.
Yes. It's important that you work with someone who understands holistic medicine. Maybe your GP, maybe your skin specialist, but someone who's not only going to treat your skin, someone who's going to look at you holistically. That's the way to go ahead. Even ask your coach, ask your skin care specialist to look at you holistically. Then you'll be able to take care of your skin in the long way.
So doctor, what about the hyperpigmented skin? Like there are certain areas on your body like behind your neck or on your neck, elbows or knees or there are certain areas where it's hyperpigmented. So
Now,
how do we
when
address
you talk
that?
about this hyperpigmentation, sometimes it could be a condition called acanthosis. Now, in acanthosis, what happens? People are generally obese. People suffer from syndrome X, or people suffer from metabolic syndrome. Very simple to treat that. Exercise and diet. Once they start losing the weight, once they start exercising, they have the right diet, the right supplementation, that gradually goes away. That's a velvety kind of a patch you're talking about.
So no matter how much you scrub or no matter how expensive products you use, that is not going to go away
Absolutely, it's not going to
unless
go
you
away.
treat from inside.
Because that is a sign your body is telling you, if you don't treat yourself, you're going to land up into a dangerous situation. I would call that a time bomb.
Yeah.
Because you need to get checked up. You need to check and see if you're having insulin resistance. You need to check your insulin levels. You also need to check your heart. You need to check your heart rate. You need to check your VO2 max. That's your exercise coefficient. You need to have an ideal VO2 max. When I talk about VO2 max, we talk about it in exercise medicine when we talk about exercise medicine. How to increase your VO2 max and how to increase your cardiac output and how to increase your metabolism. So once you increase your metabolism, automatically your body falls into place for such people. And that would definitely, help in the long run or help in their health. Because when you look at a skin, we don't look at skin superficially to treat. We want to treat the person as a whole. That's very important.
So doctor, what about hypopigmented skin? Like I see little children having these hypopigmented patches over their cheeks or on their elbows or on their chest, and sometimes in the adults also you see some hypopigmented
So
patches.
when you're talking about hypopigmentation, there are many types of hyperpigmentation and hypopigmentation. So let's talk about hyperpigmentation first, where it becomes more darker. It's called hyper. So you have more melanin. So that could be one because of, as I said, hormonal. The second thing, it could be because of, post-inflammation. You could have melanocytes aggregating over there. Now coming to hypopigmentation, the other one, where you have the light skin. So what happens, that's a condition called vitiligo. Now in vitiligo, the melanin cells, die. We don't know why. They could be autoimmune. It could be nutritional. There also could be post-inflammatory hypopigmentation, where a person has done excessive laser and they get hypopigmentation. Sometimes you see, they have acne and then they get some treatment where they inject steroids and the steroid doesn't go well and that leads into hypopigmentation. Or it could be post-fungal infection, or which we call tinea. You could get hypopigmentation. Now, hypopigmentation, it's also important to consult your skin care specialist and see the type of hypopigmentation. What will he do? He'll take something called a Wood's lamp or a UV light and examine you under that light and tell you what is the type. But all these are treatable. The best thing to do is to expose yourself with some coconut oil, apply on the hypopigmented patches and sit in the sun.
So talking about sun, doctor, we have a lot of sunburns. India is a hot country. Many other countries are very hot in certain seasons. So how to protect our skin before you go to the sun, and also how to address a burnt skin?
Talking about sunburn, there's a protocol for sunburn which is totally different. You need to give them cooling agents. You need to give them some, creams, aloe vera cooling creams for the epidermis to regrow back. Sun damage happens with UV light. So there are two major types of UV light, UVA, UVB and UVC. So UVB is more harmful than UVA because UVB also is more destructive than UVA. So having a right amount of sunscreen on your body will help you protect yourself from sun damaged skin. Having good amount of vitamin D levels is important in your body. Having supplements like vitamin C. Now vitamin C, for it to be absorbed, needs bioflavonoids. Now being in India, you have amla, which is the richest source of vitamin C. You have much more vitamin C in an amla than you have in an orange. So having 1 or 2 amlas a day would help you protect your skin.